Hello, parents. So today is October the 2nd. This is our October the 2nd parent teacher video for this week. Uh, with conference week going on, we really didn't cover too much new material. We focused on completing our narrative essays. Some of the students were in different places, so I will be honest, it was different not being in the classroom when doing an activity that is as independent as writing an essay. We went through each step throughout the course of the past week and a half, but this week was more about students writing, and quite frankly, some students are they produce their work at a faster rate than others. So definitely has some students who were behind as a result. But I'm looking forward to being able to read their writing and see where they are. I'm not so much gauging the quality of their writing uh, as much as I'm using this as a starting point. Like no matter how good their writing may be, the goal is that it's better by the end of the year. So this first essay, I'm really just kind of looking to see where they are as far as writing a standard 5 paragraph essay. For math, our students just completed a math assessment on decimals. I will try to have that in their grade in the grade book by Monday. That's my goal. So next week we will be starting a brand new chapter. We're going to be focusing on coordinate planes and graphs and positive and negative integers, as well as they're going to be comparing um, decimals and fractions, not just numbers. So is 1 1/3 larger than 1 3500ths? Things of that nature. I'm not really. I would love to sit there and tell you I know how far we're going to get in math next week, but I don't know. I'm going to kind of play it by ear and see where our students are as far as are they grasping the concepts. If they're grasping them, I'm just going to push forward. If I find that they're not doing quite as well, I'm going to pump the brakes and reteach as needed. So far this year, we're doing a pretty good job of staying either on pace or slightly in front of other sixth grade classes. So I have a little bit of wiggle room to work with without falling behind in relation to math. For history, we're going to be starting Mesopotamia. We didn't do history this week because of conference schedule, um, limiting the amount of Zoom sessions that we would have with our students. So history and science kind of took a pause for this week. So next week we will be touching on Mesopotamia, which was the first civilization to use written language. So I'm going to kind of really put a big emphasis on learning about Mesopotamia is important because they lay down the foundation of how a modern civilization is ran, and I'm especially going to give uh, a level of importance to the fact that they came up with forms of writing and why they came up with forms of writing and why it is such a powerful and necessary tool. For science, I've decided I'm going to talk a little bit more about renewable and non-renewable resources that humans use. I I spoke about it last in our last science session, and I kind of felt like the students might already have more background understanding of what a renewable and non-renewable resource was. But after looking and grading some of their work, I realized that quite a few students didn't know, and that I probably needed to spend more time on it because once again, I feel science and history should be taught with the thought of why is it important, and anything that is a resource that allows humans to flourish on Earth is important. So I'm going to spend some time on that, and if I feel that they're getting it, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I will move on. But within that 45 minute session, I really do believe that's going to be where I target my instruction. For ELA, okay, after doing the essay, I'll be honest, I want to get back to a reading selection where the pace is more is unified, is together, where I don't have students all everywhere. Um, so I'm looking forward to being able to get back to reading selection where it's a little bit easier to do that. We're going to be talking about fears and phobias. It's really a selection that I enjoy because it forces every student to be reflective of what they might fear. And that generally brings interest into the content. Also, we're going to be talking about something called connotation and denotation. It sounds really boring, just connotation, denotation. Uh, for the students, though, as I kind of will talk about it, I think they'll find it to be something that is easy for them because they use it often. I believe that denotation and connotation is used best in persuasion, and we all know students, we all know kids, people, humans, everyone um, is persuasive in their nature, even subconsciously. And denotation and connotation really works with goes well with persuasion. And I will put emphasis on how it's everywhere in the world. You just, if you pay attention to it, you'll see it. So that's what we're going to be doing in language arts. As far as grades are going, grades are starting to improve because students are starting to do a better job of completing their assignments. I do still accept late work, but it is pleasant when I receive their completed work before it's late. It makes it a lot easier for me to grade it, and I don't miss certain assignments because there have been a few students who have turned in quite a bit of work late, and as a result, as I'm grading it's a longer process, and sometimes there's simply an assignment that gets missed. I would love to tell you that I don't make any mistakes, um, but that would make me a really bad liar. So I don't want to do that. Uh, Beyond that, as always, I enjoy having your students on my Zoom sessions. For the parents who took the time to meet with me this week for parent conference, I really would like to say thank you, and I appreciate being able to have an opportunity to talk to you about your students. I'm beginning to learn uh, things about your students, and hopefully it will allow for me to give them instruction better and make their sixth grade year more worthwhile. So, that said, as usual, if you need to get in contact with me, I can be reached by email. I try to respond within the day of the message. I hope that you guys have a great weekend or a great day, depending on whenever you see this video, if you see this video. And with that said, it's Mr. Wilson signing out. Peace.